Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Filmmakers Lab Podcast. Y'all know who I am. And today my guest is Safiyya Hicks. And my topic today is script supervising. And the deal with script supervising is it's the most important element of, and I'm not just saying that, it is the most important element of filmmaking. And a lot of people don't understand what we do. A lot of people don't even realize, a lot of producers and directors a lot of times don't even realize that they need script supervisors. And also, it is a subject that I know very well because I started in the industry as a script supervisor. And there's not a lot of Black women in script supervising. Am I right? It's not a lot of us, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that briefly. But I'm excited to have you here because now I'm talking to someone that knows a subject that I know. Most of the time I have people on, and the subjects are, the positions are not ones that I'm familiar with. So I have to do a lot of research. But I didn't have to do a lot of research for this one. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have you. So look. Tell me, where are you from?
I am from Atlanta.
Oh, you are?
Believe it or not.
Why you say believe it or not?
A lot of people are surprised when I say that I'm from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people here who are not from Atlanta.
True.
So when someone meets a native, they're like, really?
Yeah.
They'll be like, I've been here for 15 years and I've never met anybody from Atlanta.
I've been here for a long time, but I've met a lot of natives.
Yeah, I am from here. I wasn't born here. I was born in Chicago, but we've been here since I was like 2 months old.
So
you're from
here.
I'm from here, right? I went to school here and I graduated, college, everything. So I am from,
What college did you go to?
I went to West Georgia.
Okay. And what did you major in?
I majored in marketing.
And we just talked about that.
We did just talk about that.
And I did too. And I went to school in Orlando.
Okay.
I'm from New York, but I went to school in Orlando.
All right.
How did you get started as a script supervisor? Let's jump right in.
Okay. Well, I saw a post in a Facebook group that I was in. It was actually like an actor Facebook group. And the message said, well, let me go back a little bit. This was the year 2020. This was earlier in the year when I first decided that, I'd really like to get into film and TV. Let me just see what's out there, if there's a PA position, that's probably like as an entry.
No, that's where we get our start.
I'll just get out there and just see what's what. And so that August or so, I saw the message and it said that we'll train. They said we're looking for either a PA or a script supervisor. And I was like, hey, the post had been out there for 3 days. So I was like, oh man, I'm sure they have like hundreds of applicants. I said, but that's okay. Yeah, I said, that's okay. I'll just put my information in.
Right.
And, we'll see what happens. And then the director ended up calling me back. And she said, I'm shooting a short film. She said, I'm looking for either a PA or a script supervisor. And I was like, okay, well, what's a script supervisor? And she started to explain what a script. I was like, script supervisor. What's that? She said, okay, well, a script supervisor does this, that, and other. I'll train you. You just come on down and come in. And so her name is Carly Raymond. She's here in Atlanta as well. She's
Shout
my
out
mentor.
to Carly.
Shout out to Carly. She's amazing. She's the best. I would not be here without her, without that invitation and without her welcoming me in. She's also like a director, producer, she does writer, all the things.
Her name sounds familiar, but I don't. We might have crossed paths. You know how small this is. But go ahead, keep going.
So I showed up that first day, and she's been teaching me ever since. And it's been about 2 years now that I've been script supervising.
Wow. How many films have you script supervised?
That is an excellent question. I've had such a busy year like this year. I would say, right? I need to go back and look.
A lot.
I've done a good number of projects on features. I would say shorts and features. It's been, I know, more than 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than 10.
10. That's a lot.
With the features and the shorts.
Which
together
one do
on the
you
film.
prefer to script supervise, the feature or the shorts?
I haven't done a short in a while. I would probably say feature. Feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say feature. Not that I wouldn't do a short or anything like that. I would say a feature, but you know what? Shorts could be interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, even something, because I've script supervised on something that was 5 pages, and the story
Look at that.
was quite interesting.
See?
So yeah.
I like those better, honestly, because they are like to the point. You have to get your story out right away. And you know, as a script supervisor, it doesn't really test your attention to detail, but I don't know. For me, it's just I just prefer shorts. I don't know why that is. I just prefer them. But I love being on set, so you know, features are good too. But I don't know. I just like the short films because I think maybe because I can get into the meat of them
Like right away. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I prefer to write shorts too.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done some features, but I prefer to write shorts as well. So.
Okay. Short and sweet.
So tell us what script supervisors do in the best definition that you can, because we know.
Okay.
But a lot of people out there are not going to know what that is, because so if you think about it, script supervisor. Oh, so you supervise a script,
Right. Or so you coordinate the script.
Right.
Like, no, not quite.
So give us your definition of what we do.
I would break it into 2 parts.
Okay.
The first part, and these aren't in any particular order. I'll just start with this
And
one.
there's no order.
Yeah, there's no order or anything. I will say that you are like the eyes and the ears for the editor, because a lot of times the editor is not there. So you take notes for the editor so that they know what happens on a production day. Like, what scenes did you guys shoot? What order did you shoot in? How many setups did you have in that shoot? So that once they start to get the footage in, once it gets delivered, they know where to find things. Like, we catalog the information and let them know, because they're not there. And without that information, like taking the notes of what actually happens in the takes, then the editor would just get a lot of footage and not know where anything is.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because everything is filmed out of sequence.
Yeah.
Everything is filmed out of sequence. When you see a film and you read the script, it's in order, of course. But when you're filming it, it's not in order.
Right.
And the reason for that is there's a lot of elements that go into that, but one of them is scheduling of your actors, locations.
Right.
Location, you know, that's a big one. You might want to film in a strip club, and you can't film in a strip club when they're stripping.
Right.
I mean,
so
you
gotta
can
knock out all the scenes when you can that are for that location.
Right. Exactly. That's right. Say that one more time.
Knocking out the scenes in the location while you can.
While you can, exactly. You don't want to have to go back.
You don't have to go back.
But when you do have to go back, that's when we come in.
Right. And that leads me to the second part of what we do, which is keeping what is called continuity.
Yep.
And to what you said, because films and TV shows are not shot in order, our job is to make sure everything fits back like a puzzle. So that if I'm a character and I have this outfit on in a breakfast scene, which is in my home, but I'm going to work, by the time I get to work, we might shoot on a couple weeks later.
Right.
So part of my job as a script supervisor is to make sure that when I show up at my work, I am dressed the same. So I have on the, now wardrobe would also have their process. Well, they will go through that too. So by the time me as the actor shows up and I'm about to hit the screen, the script supervisor is going to make sure, okay, she's got on the black shoes, the black pants. Okay, she had on a gray sweater with the black shirt, so that I don't leave the house in a red shirt and then show up to work in a black
Listen, it's happened.
In a black one, right? Because things do happen. And so like I said, I'm not the only person who monitors that, but it's like a safety net or a second eye to see.
Yeah. No, but they rely on you because I know they'll come back to you and say, so Safiyya, do you have the picture of so-and-so when they were, in this scene? But also, let's be specific now.
Okay.
The same earrings, the same makeup, the same hair. Come on. Nails.
Purse. What kind of purse, if anything, that I leave with is that the same purse that I show up with once I get to work.
Yeah. And nobody else is going to remember that.
Right. We have the way that we catalog our references, whether it's a photo or video, in order to match back what the actress was wearing, what her hair looked like. And it's not just costume, it's also the set itself.
That's right.
So say we're filming something and we break for lunch. When we come back to pick up where we were, everything needs to look as it was.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're not going to be perfect.
You're not going to be perfect.
Because you only have 2 eyes, 2 ears.
2 eyes, 2 ears.
Yeah.
Right. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. And you have
watching an entire set.
Right. Heavy can be the crown sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I think it's important that you have to just leave it in the past and keep going.
Yeah.
Leave it in the past. And not to say that that is not a process, because it is. Like, I'm still learning every day to leave it in that. But I can better discern now. Oh, that's not going to be a huge problem. Oh, okay, they'll be fine. What they'll be able to do is cut around that, and they'll be okay. Because like on huge,
okay, go ahead,
big huge budget films, like they have, I won't say issues, but they just have things that happen to where it's not exactly the same. I was looking at a big budget film recently, and the hair was just different because you just can't get it back exactly like it was, right? So it's different. And I see it as a script supervisor because that's what I do. But the normal person
is not going to pick up on it.
They're probably not going to see if it was swooped this way or that way. And I was like, her hair. I was like, did I do this?
Yeah, no, but it's
her hair looks different. I must have.
So let me ask you this, and this is off script.
That was a joke.
Off my script.
Okay.
Does it ruin it for you now when you watch films?
No, it doesn't, because sometimes I'm just there for the story.
I got you.
And I can just involve myself in the story, and that's it. Sometimes I do, I might look and I might see stuff because it helps me to better learn. It helps me to understand that nobody is perfect. And that just because there might be a mishap doesn't mean that the end product won't be wonderful, because it will still be wonderful. It'll still be beautiful. Like the story.
You just know that there's a mistake.
Yeah, because nobody's perfect. It's something's going to get through. It always does.
It always does.
Yeah. Like they will literally list it on IMDb. They will list it.
They do.
But
which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's okay. Like when and I still kind of think this was done on purpose with the Game of Thrones, with the cup. I kind of feel like they were like, this is the last season. We just go throw this in here to see if anybody knows. See if anybody notices this Starbucks cup.
Right.
I'm on the fence. What do you think? You think that really happened? Somebody just forgot about it, or they were like, we're gonna have a little bit of fun?
No, I don't think somebody forgot about it.
Okay, yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I think they were having a little bit of fun.
Yeah,
with the audience. Yeah, and people probably didn't notice it when they were watching it.
They probably didn't.
It was probably when somebody shone the spotlight on this cup that people are like, oh, okay, I didn't even see that. Which goes back to my point that the end product can still be beautiful and marvelous and all the things that you want it to be.
Definitely.
Sometimes those imperfections are what make it real, just like with people.
Yeah,
Our
for sure.
imperfections
No, you're right.
Make us real and whole.
Definitely. I agree with you 100%. And, sometimes script supervisors get a bad name because we're like, okay, you said that line wrong. You know, we can't cut it there because X, Y, and Z.
Right. And with continuity,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
we have to, there's always a fair amount of deviation from the actual dialogue that's written on the
You know
paper. So, which is fine because, you know, the actor's in the moment, and if they change some things around, then hey, it can really enhance the product. But at the same time, we have to be careful that they don't say something that isn't congruent with the story.
Change
And that's, so when I say it's more than just continuity of outfits or the set, there's also the words, right? So, you know, they can deviate as long as the director's okay with it, the producers are okay with it, because that's one of the questions I do ask. Like in production meetings, if it's something new for me, I'll say, okay, how much deviation from the dialogue is okay, you know, and a lot of times they'll say, oh, it's fine, unless it's a problem.
Right.
And so as a script supervisor, you have to be very in tune with the story.
Yes.
To know whether or not a statement is going to throw off something that either has already been shot,
Right.
or you might have to change something else later
Right.
in order to make it fit now this new scenario that the actor has created. Yeah.
Exactly. I haven't had a problem like that, thank God. But I could see it happening easy. You know what I mean?
Most of the time it's like a simple dialogue fix. I haven't seen anything super major where they have to go back and film some. No, a lot of times whatever has been affected by the new scenario, just a simple dialogue tweak, or you may have to have the actor say that, okay, this time don't say 3:00, just say later.
Right.
Because really it's like 5:00 according to our breakdown. It's like 5:00.
Exactly.
Don't say 3:00, just say later.
No.
Keep it a little bit more general.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, and you know that happens. I mean, because they get into their flow, and they, you know, like you said, it's natural for some of them. You know?
They're just going with what they feel, and a lot of times
we have to be so zoned in on that. You know, just to make sure that you're saying the words, but are these words changing the story?
And they may not realize that is changing the story.
Isn't that crazy?
So So you, as a script supervisor, you got to look at what they've changed in a dialogue and make sure, like, is there something like a signifier or something that's really going to stand out that's going to affect something else. And so
no, absolutely right.
But it comes with time to develop that.
It does. It does.
It comes with time.
We've been talking about the production aspect of it, but script supervisors are needed from pre-production to post, right? So in pre-production, what do you do to prepare? Like, what question? You said you asked the question about, if the words have to be exact. What else do you ask? Because I know what's important for me is having that shot list.
Okay.
And I've had directors give me pushback.
Okay.
Oh, why do you need that? And my thing is, well, you need it too. And if you don't have it, now I'm questioning your whole production. Okay. Because you need that. Okay. And I'm talking specifically about independent. I'm not talking, because the bigger budgets know that that's what they need. And they know that they need to get that to you. What do you do? What is your process?
The main thing is going to be that breakdown. Getting that breakdown.
That's right.
Prepared.
Yes.
And
do you break it down? Do you break the script down?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so we're talking about breaking the script down and putting your what do you call it?
I would say, like, reading the script and pulling out different elements of that script.
Right, which are props.
Any specified clothing. Is there something about the set that is mentioned? Like, something do I need to make note of it? Sounds, like I'll highlight the sounds. Cars can be an issue because I'm
thinking of stories.
Right? Like, people don't think about that because that's one of the questions I ask myself now after having an experience.
Yes.
Is whatever location, say we're at someone's house, who's home? Because if you have a character that's supposed to be gone, but their car is in the driveway,
Hey.
then that car is visible, then that can throw things off. And
Yeah.
you're like, well, I thought didn't they just drive off?
Right.
But because we might be shooting this scene 2 days later, like, what is that car?
Car out.
What is that car doing there?
Yeah.
When technically this character is supposed to be gone.
Yes, definitely.
So it's going through who's in the scene, because if there's someone who is in the scene, but on the schedule they're not listed, then there's an opportunity for that actor to not be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're listed on the scene, but if they're not on the breakdown and I can't match it to the schedule, if I have them on my breakdown, but they're not on the schedule, that's going to send up a flag.
That's right.
That I need to let the producers know that, hey, I'm seeing that such and such is on the schedule, but in the scene, but I don't see them on the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting that breakdown, your
happens.
story days and nights, because your story days and nights are when the story starts. A lot of times that's day one, or if it's nighttime, then it's night one. So when does it change to day? So you need to signify, okay, the story changes to day here, because now that means your characters will most likely be in new clothes, right? Depending on where they were before.
Exactly.
Because if they slept in the car, then they have on the same clothes that they had on.
And then what about the flashbacks?
Right, and the flashbacks,
Yeah.
like your flashback. I did a feature recently where the flashbacks were in the 1800s. So, like, okay, is that night
a
one?
whole time.
Or, how do you signify that?
Yeah.
Because it's in the past. So.
And then sometimes we have to signify that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they don't.
It's like, okay, well, this is, as a script supervisor, this is what I see,
Right.
and this is what it looks like to me. And I think that it would be easiest for everyone to start here. This is just my opinion. If y'all want to do it differently, let me know. But this is just what it's like. You give that recommendation.
Yeah.
This is what I
How
see.
many times do they follow it?
I haven't had a problem.
Right. I haven't either.
I haven't had a problem, because it's like if we as the script supervisor see it one way and the producers see it another, there may be a reason why they see it that way, that maybe the script supervisor just doesn't have that information.
Right.
So if the production is good with seeing it this way, then I'm flexible. Yeah, like however y'all want to do it, but just understand that there may be some challenges. Yeah, that because if you want to see it this way, then maybe some other things might need to be adjusted.
Right.
But it's a very collaborative experience.
Definitely.
So it's important to have the conversations and shine a light on those gray areas so that they can get worked out.
And do you write those? Do you record those in
Into the breakdown?
Yeah.
Or like we'll come up
At
with
any
continuity questions,
Yeah, okay.
and then we'll give that to the producer.
Gotcha. Are you analog or digital?
I'm digital.
Okay. All right. What software do you use?
I use Scripty.
Oh, okay.
I started out with Excel spreadsheets,
Okay.
which is I think is a great way to start, because it's like I feel like Scripty is like a shortcut. Like Scripty is fantastic, but I feel like you need to go the long way sometimes in order to.
Oh, I agree.
In order to really fully appreciate the short way.
Definitely. I agree.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, if somebody's just starting, because there are people who at the top level I have heard are still on paper and pen.
That's me.
So if that works, that works.
Yeah.
It's like whatever works for somebody. Like I have not done, I think I did pen and paper maybe one time when it was raining and I couldn't use my electronics, but that's okay because I still got them the information that they needed. So it's like as long, whatever process somebody uses, as long as you're delivering what's needed, then that's fine.
For sure.
I just so happen to use Scripty and then also Scriptation. Those together.
That one. Okay.
Scriptation we use on our iPads, and you can write on like whether it's the script or whether it's the breakdown. If you need to make a note, you can do it like the call sheet. Using Scriptation allows us to do that.
Okay. Is that a Mac product or is it?
I don't think Scriptation is. I know you can get it on a Mac and you can use it on your iPad. I feel like it's also available like in Windows. I'm not 100% sure.
check it.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
like
check
I
that
love
out.
it's I mean, besides just script supervising, it's great for signing documents because you just pull it up, sign
Okay.
it, download it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And send
That's
it on.
good.
Yeah, I love
All right.
scriptation.
Yeah. I was using I want to say Movie Slate or
Okay.
something like that. I can't remember what it was, but that was pretty cool too because I didn't have to have a stopwatch.
Okay.
It had the time, it recorded the time. So I understand what you're saying when you're talking about the short way. It does,
Yeah.
it's like a cheat code.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I prefer the analog. I'm
Okay.
definitely pen and paper.
All right.
You know, got my little rig and I'm pen and paper. But nothing wrong with digital.
Right. Yeah. It's whatever that person
Yeah.
is comfortable and they get the job done. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because we have so many different forms that we have to, well, not so many, but it's enough that, we need to have some kind of organization.
Yeah,
We have to be
absolutely. A
organized.
process. Yeah,
Yes.
that's going to allow that information to come in, you synthesize it, and spit it back out.
Yeah.
like whatever that process is for
you're
somebody.
absolutely right. Yeah,
But
I gotta
scripty. Scriptation is it's robust, but I don't use it in all the functions because I do have scripty. But scriptation, that is a great way to be able to pull up the script and make notes on it if you need to, or the
Can you
breakdown.
line the script on there too, or
Um,
do you line scripts?
Oh yeah,
You
like
do.
I know how to
Yeah.
do it by hand.
That
But
is something that
scripty-
we cannot explain. That we can't explain that. It's something that script supervisors do.
Yeah.
That it's for the editor actually, but it's not something that we can explain. But
Yeah.
but
Okay.
but you do that.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Scripty does that too.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, Scripty will do it for you. Like as the take is running, right? You roll the take,
Yeah.
and then you tap on the dialogue. Okay, whether it's a straight line, a squiggly line, or a line with a squiggly through it. That's wonderful.
That's cool.
Yes, like it will do it for you, and when you're ready to print out those reports,
Man, you know
Boom.
how long it has taken me to line the script by hand? Oh boy.
oh, I understand because
Yeah.
you have your ruler, you like
Yep.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Scripty does it for you.
Okay.
You just have to
Scripty
guide it
and
along.
scriptation. Okay. Yeah, you have to guide it along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have
But
to.
still, I'm sure
Yeah.
it's easier. Just
Yeah.
thinking about it, I know it's easier.
And I think that because I started on the manual, that I understand what I'm doing once I get to Scripty,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's just better because say you have Scripty that you normally use, but say you don't have access. Those reports you still do.
Yeah.
So you know, if you don't know how to line the script, you're gonna be like, what do I do, right? So it's important to learn how to do it manually. Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
So you understand what it is that you're doing.
When you're doing it.
So if it ever comes time, yeah.
I agree 100%. What else do you ask for in the pre-production part of it? You break the script down, and what else? Like when you guys are having your first pre-production meeting, what requirements do you need to be effective as a script supervisor?
If I've done like the story day and night analysis, if there's something that I have a question about, I'll put it out there, and I also put it to the questions to like the production team and the director team. Makeup, like if there's a fight that happens in the story, will there be any bruising that needs to be tracked?
Man, yeah.
Because you might start out, okay, after the fresh fight, there's blood that happens, if this is that kind of fight.
Right.
And then along the way, potentially, depending on the story, those wounds may start to heal. Like that person tends to go clean themselves up, whether at home or, okay, so now we're still bruised, we're a little bloody, but now we're clean, we're a little cleaner, right?
Movies, yeah.
But you might shoot that part first.
Oh,
And you might shoot the bloody part last. So what is the plan for the progression
definitely.
of the healing of this wound?
Right.
Like this stuff that I didn't think about at
It's
first.
not.
Yeah,
it's not
you
until
grow
you
into
actually
that. Yeah,
exactly.
like when you're doing a short, it's going to take place in like 3 days. So chances are if somebody's super bloody, they're going to stay that way. So there's not
black eyes.
It's just going to stay that way because this is just short. So there is no tracking necessarily.
Right.
Would there be any changes to like hair or something like that? If a character is described to have a certain hairstyle in the beginning, and then maybe they have something later on. Is that something that needs to be tracked, or because as script supervisors, we do look at the hair. Like the hair department also has their continuity processes as well. But things can happen during filming. People fidget. The actors, they can fidget with their hair as they're doing the scene. Yeah. So, is there anything about hair? Definitely special effects, makeup. What's something else that might come up? The schedule, letting the production team, we talked about that, know if somebody is either added on the schedule that shouldn't be there, or they should be on the schedule and they're not there.
How many times do you read the script?
A lot.
Me too.
Yeah. A lot. Like I will start out with non-pressurized, just reading, just so I can know, okay, this is what happens. And just non-pressurized, just let me just take it in. Just let me just take it in. Let me see what it says. And then I'll start to, once I go through everything once, then I'll start to break it down, highlight the elements, pull everything out, start writing questions like, are they leaving with a purse? Like I'll actually write that as a note to myself. Okay, are they leaving with anything in their hands? And then the next scene, okay, are they showing up with anything in their hands? Just certain things like that. I'll ask questions along the way. Are they wearing a coat? Like just so I'll know once we get there. I'll ask, are we doing outerwear doing this production? Are we doing purses? Just as a general rule.
Who are you asking?
Are we doing? Chances are costume will be on the production meeting. So they'll say, yes, every outfit is going to have a... Oh, right. You'll have a production meeting at the beginning of every production where you'll get to ask your questions. All the major players will be there, like hair, makeup, the producers, the assistant director, the director, the set decoration people, costume, like they'll be there. Special effects will be there. The people who manage the cars will be there. Locations will be there, and it gives everybody an opportunity to collaborate and ask each other questions about what they might have done or seen in their breakdown process. Right. So it gives you guys a chance to have that first collaboration. So if I have a question about hair, then the hair representative will say, here is our plan for XYZ.
Right, these are my looks.
If there's a question about the makeup, because you have the makeup team who does, like your glam look, but you also have special effects makeup. They may or may not be the same person. Sometimes they are and sometimes they aren't. So if you want to know if there's going to be tracking with a bruise or any kind of bleeding, then they'll say, yes, here's our plan. We have on this day, she will look like this or he will look like that. And then it will just gradually get lighter. They'll actually send you a plan of the progression of the healing of a bruise. So just things like that. Just ask myself all the questions that I can ask myself about what it is that I'm reading. Because sometimes when you're going through, you might read something, you'd be like, well, I thought that he said before. Let me go back. Let me go back and look at the script because I thought that he said that he was going to the restaurant for dinner, and now he's asking her, let's go to breakfast. You're like, wait a minute, I thought he said they were going to dinner. Like, why did he say breakfast right here? Things like that. Like, does it make sense? Like
does
what
it
you
make
said.
sense? Because a lot of times when a writer is writing their script, sometimes they'll take something out and forget to fill it in. You know what I'm saying? Or make it make sense. And it's up to us to say, so did you mean to say this? Did you mean to leave this out? Or, so definitely. And when I tell people that we know the script probably better than anybody on the set, I'm not just saying that. We have to know it better than anybody on the set.
We have to know it very well.
Yes, we do. Yeah, backwards and forwards, for sure. What about script supervising do you like?
I like what it is teaching me about filmmaking and editing and how TV shows get made.
Yeah.
Like you have newfound respect for how this all happens and how it ends up on your TV screen or on your phone or wherever you watch something.
Yeah.
I just love what it is teaching me.
Awesome.
Because, like you sit very centrally within the production and you touch a lot of departments.
Yes.
Like everybody's job is very important, like from the top all the way to, I don't want to say the bottom, but I'll just say across the board. Everybody's job is important. Yeah. And as a script supervisor, you develop relationships with everybody. With everybody.
That is the best part.
Yeah, I love that. I love saying, okay, so what do you do? Okay, so how long have you been doing that? Like hearing people's story about how they ended up where they ended up. Yeah. I like script supervising because of the way that it challenges me. Because it will challenge you.
That was long.
It will challenge you.
Yeah, because we have to be there when they're setting up, and we have to be there when they're taking it down. So you have to have stamina.
Oh yeah, the hours are the hours.
The hours are the hours.
Are the hours, and I think if someone is considering getting in film and television, understand that that's what it is. Like it may just be 8 hours. It might be 10 hours, but you can go
on set.
You can go 17.
Yes.
It just really depends on the circumstances.
It does.
But there's different aspects of film and TV and commercials and stuff like that. So someone might desire to not work that many hours, and they can surely find their place during, finding a situation that fits them better. And that's perfect. I think that's the wonderful thing about it, is that there's more opportunity for people to design things now. Anyway, I can't say about in the past. It didn't necessarily sound like it in the past, but because we have a lot of different mediums. Like this is a medium now, right? So technically, this is film. This is film, and this is put out there for this content for people. Sure. But will this be a 12-hour shoot? No. And that's okay, right? Exactly. That's okay. Like this forum, it's shot on a smaller timeline. So if people prefer that, maybe they just want to produce podcasts. You're still working in television, film, and media. And I think that's the wonderful thing about it, is being able to participate in a time like this. Like, who would have ever guessed?
Yeah. Tell me about it.
A time like this. Oh, man. It's exciting. Yeah. It's exciting.
And there's so many different elements that you can get into.
It's just, and script supervising is just one way to get in and to learn. It's just one way.
It was the best way for me.
It was the best way for me, too. Yeah. Because I worked corporate for 20 years.
So did I.
Corporate for 20 years before I started doing this.
Okay, 20 years. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to talk about how old you were off the camera.
And working corporate, I was an analyst. My last position, I was a business analyst. I had a career in supply chain. Yeah. And so I was a business analyst for a manufacturing company.
What a change.
Well, it depends, because what that allowed me to do was take those skills. I was a reporting analyst, right? Okay. And just roll it over into, now I'm a reporting analyst in a different field. Yeah. So I just rolled those skills over into something else that just allowed me to come in, and just transition over into it. Not to say that it's like the easiest transition ever. It's still very new, and I'm still learning every day. Sure. I'm still growing.
Because every set is different. Every production is different.
Everything is, and you always learn something new.
You do.
Remember when I talked about the cars? Yeah. There's only one way, one reason why that sticks out to me is because I had an experience in production where there was a car sitting there where the character was actually gone. So they had to move the car out of the way and do it again. I'm just keeping it real.
The car?
All right.
Did they have to push the car out of the driveway?
They just had to move it.
Sometimes those things happen.
Right.
We had a car for a film that we shot that was an older model car, and the guy rents the car out, and that was pretty cool. But the poor car wouldn't go over 5 miles an hour.
Okay.
And we didn't need it to go that fast, but then it would overheat.
Okay.
And we would have to stop. So you can imagine the tricks that we had to do to make that scene work.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm with you on that with those cars.
And back on bigger productions, you actually have someone who's in charge of just the cars. Yeah. Of managing the cars and making sure that they are at the right place at the right time in the right position. You know, for the right person.
Properly.
Yep. In the right condition. Absolutely.
What do you have a rig? Do you have a rig? What's on it? What do you have on?
I have my stand.
That's the equipment.
I have my stand, which has like it looks like a music stand. It's like a heavy duty music stand, and it's got like a tray on it. That tray is a lifesaver. Oh my god!
Right.
It's got a tray on it.
It folds up.
Yeah, you can fold it up. It's pretty heavy, but you can fold it up. You can collapse it as much as possible to make it easier to move everywhere. I have my bag that I keep all of my supplies in. I have my MacBook. I have my my iPad. I have a Blackmagic recorder that allows me access to the monitors, so I can take that monitor and feed it right into my computer.
Nice. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I've never operated that way.
Okay.
But that makes so much sense.
It makes it a lot easier. Before I was using my phone.
Yeah.
But now I can get a feed directly from the monitor. And also, if this is available, then there's something that's called like a tear deck. Okay. And like what that is, it's like a
look. I don't know what that is. I don't look on my face. Give it away.
That's okay. It's like a piece of equipment that we actually clamp onto our stand.
Okay.
And what it does is it receives the signal from the monitor, from the cameras. Yeah. So that we can connect to the tear deck, and that feeds. So the cameras might be position all over, but the tear deck will get the feed.
Okay.
And so the tear deck will get the feed.
Awesome.
We plug into the tear deck, and the tear deck doesn't have a screen on it or anything.
Okay. But
but it provides us with imagery in order to we can monitor what's going on on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't have to be like an octopus with 8 arms.
Right, yeah.
Or, have 8 eyes to see camera A, B, C, and D.
Right. It'll bring it all in one.
Got you. Man, that's dope. That is dope. I ain't never even heard of that.
It's called the Blackmagic recorder. It's a lifesaver. It's a lifesaver because I remember what it was like when I didn't have that. Like sometimes you would be fortunate enough to at least have access to a monitor that will show you
Video Village.
Yeah, Video Village that will show you what the cameras are currently seeing. Right. But you may, if you don't have like a method to record what's going on in the screen, sometimes you can use your phone. Some productions don't mind, but some productions they very much do mind, and they don't want you to use your phone.
I know that. Because I haven't had anyone say that to me.
Yeah, like. But
you don't want to use them for your,
Right, or your data.
How many times have I done that?
You're like trying to dump, just like, the DIT person will dump footage. So you have to dump footage too in order to create space. If you're using your phone or your iPad or something like that.
Like, just give me 1 second.
Right.
I need to take some of the stuff off my phone.
And then it'll start piling up and piling. It's like you literally have to have a plan for how you're going to dump footage from off of your phone or your iPad or whatever to create space, but still know where that footage is, because a question might be asked, what did they have on? Or how were they holding their hand before? And you're like, okay, one moment.
Right.
Like, let me find it.
So we're going to segue right into this. Mishaps.
Okay.
Because I've had several.
I was going to say, expect them.
One time, the whole set, the backdrop that they had just fell down.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The whole thing just fell down. And it wasn't just one piece. It was several pieces that fell off the wall. And I was the only one that had pictures.
Yeah.
I was the
Because
only
they got to rebuild it.
Yes.
They got to rebuild
Yes.
it. So
everybody was standing there looking like, and the producer goes, Lena, yeah. Pull it up.
do you have,
'cause I know you have it.
do you have a picture? Like, what did this
it
look
look
like?
like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the mishap. But mishaps are aplenty stuff. We don't live in a perfect world. So,
But have you ever had situations where
yes. No, I'm just kidding.
you already know what I'm going to say, and I'm just going to give one quick thing that happened to me.
Okay.
So we talked about the flashbacks, and so if you're doing a flashback to someone that is maybe 5 years younger,
Okay.
everything's going to be different. This actress, I love you. I'm not going to say your name out loud because it wasn't your fault. It was my fault. I love her, but she had on this blue nail polish,
Okay.
and it was so prominent, dominant. You could see it. It was like a turquoise, right? But she had it through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
in the flashback scene. And I'm
Yeah. You're like, well, I don't think this was really
nail polish.
popular back then. But
No, but it wasn't. So that was one mishap that I had. What mishaps have you had?
I'll use the flashback as an example. I was a script supervisor on a short film that took place. It was supposed to take place in the 90s, right? I think we had probably gone through it at least once. I would say the scene, or at least a portion of the scene, at least once before I thought about this, right? Remember, this is 1996.
Right.
We're in 2022, right?
Right.
There was no LeBrons. They did not have LeBron's shoes back in 1996.
They did not.
No. So just a lot of the shoes that
Oh,
the
wow.
people had on were more modern shoes. So like I said, I think we had gone through it once, but maybe we didn't get very far. I was like, wait a minute. What about the shoes? This is 1996. Like, no, we didn't have, you did and they were like, oh my God, you're right. Okay, you move this way so we can't see your foot. Okay, you come forward. Yeah.
Look at that. But who's thinking about that?
Who's thinking
But us.
about? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I did not catch it. Like, we're not perfect people, script supervisors. We're not perfect
But
people.
you did catch it.
Stuff
You just
happens.
didn't catch it right away.
Right. I didn't catch it right away. Right. You, as a script supervisor, you do want to prevent having to go back and reshoot something.
Yeah.
But nobody is perfect, and that will happen in your career.
And please don't say they're going to change it in post.
Right. There's certain things that they can't.
Yeah,
Some things they can fix, but
But you shouldn't even say it.
especially not as a script supervisor. I'll say that.
Nobody should say it.
Right, right.
I don't think.
Right.
Whisper it. Don't say it out loud.
Like, your goal should be to try to prevent having to go back and refilm something if you can as a script supervisor.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It may be because of the script supervisor, but it may not.
Yeah.
It may not be you anyway.
Yeah.
So just accept that having to go back and reshoot something is just part of the game.
Yep.
It is. You don't want to have to do that. Sometimes it's going to be you.
Yeah.
And you're just going to have to sit that right here on the shoulders.
Own up to it.
You're just going to have to
made a
do
mistake.
it. But that's how we get better.
Yeah.
That's
for
how we
sure.
get better.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the only
Definitely.
way.
I totally agree. Totally agree. I'm going to switch gears real quick. I'm going to switch gears really quick and talk about the demographics of Black females in this position,
Okay.
supervisors. The demographic is, it's mostly women, but it's 63% white women
Okay.
and 10.6% Black women.
I believe it.
So when, our mutual friend told me that you were a script supervisor and I looked on your page, I was like, oh my God, she's Black. I'm like, what? Where's she been all these years? I was surprised, even though I'm one, the majority of the ones that I've met are white. Why do you think that is?
I think because we don't know. I think because we don't know that script supervising is an avenue that can be taken in order to participate in TV, film, and media
And
production.
get your foot in. Definitely. I totally agree with you on that.
I think we're just
I think they keep it from us on purpose. I said it.
I do.
I don't
really know.
I do. I don't think it's because we're not knowledgeable enough. I just think that it's a valued position.
It is.
And I honestly believe that they just really wanted to keep it to themselves.
I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like, okay, I'm gonna get spiritual now.
Okay, I'm hearing you.
I feel like someone can't take what's yours.
Got it.
And true enough, there is a history of resources and information and whatever else being kept away from our community, right? And there's certain mindsets that were passed down to us. Right? That's undeniable.
Yeah.
And we're still feeling the effects of it to this day. But I think that if you have the opportunity, and not everybody does, like I'm not just trying to make this easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 easy. But if you have in your mind if you have in your mind what you want to do and where you want to go, and you're steadfast to that, God will provide you what you need in order to get there.
And put you there.
And God will put you in places because I never asked to be a script supervisor.
Neither.
Never, ever did I ask to be one. But I did not ask to be one too.
Right.
Right? And so this is something
I hear you.
that was given to me, was passed to me in order for me to utilize to get to where my path is taking me.
Yeah. LA? Yeah. You good? Oh, 5 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes.
So I do hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, nobody can take what's yours. If an opportunity has your name on
I
it,
agree.
then it's for you.
Yeah.
It's for you. And what that does is it allows us to expand up here to believe and embrace that we can do anything that we want to do. We can be whatever we want to be. And no one, I don't want to say right now, like no one can
say what's on your mind.
I don't want to oversimplify it because our community is, and not just our community, we have some challenges.
For sure.
We have some real things that are affecting
And
our
definitely
community.
in this field.
Yes. And I don't want to minimize what we are experiencing any way whatsoever. I don't want to minimize that because there are real challenges. Like I'm not naive to that. But at the same time, if we can hold true to, we can do what we want to do and be what we want to be, then things will begin to open up in that way, even if it's just one of us at a time. That just says, hey, come on. You know what I'm saying? Just one at a time. Each one teach one, each one bring one.
That's
I
right.
bring one along just as I was brought along.
Definitely.
And we can create change and opportunity that way.
Definitely. And that's why we have Filmmakers Lab Podcast.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're out here educating the people.
Madness.
Yes. We are letting people know that there is this thing about called script supervising that you can do to participate in film and TV. And even if you don't know a soul, you don't know anybody in the business, that's okay. You just stay focused on what you want to do and allow your steps to be ordered for you to get there.
For sure.
And you will get there.
Oh, yeah. I definitely stepped out on faith, left New York, and came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Totally blind. Didn't know what I was going to do.
For sure.
Yeah, so no, I feel you, girl.
I stepped away from that corporate job
I know you
a
was
little over 2 years ago, and my faith is all I have.
Yeah.
Well, let me not say that. My faith has provided me with a wonderful support system. I have a wonderful husband who supports me through this. I have a wonderful family, who helps to make this
Need
possible.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
Having
need
a
that as Black
community.
Yeah.
It's about having that community.
Your tribe.
Yes, and we can build that. We can do it.
And we are doing it.
We are doing it.
for
Yes.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do you write? Is there anything else that you do?
I do write.
Okay.
I have some things going on up here that I need to allow to flow through me
For
to the paper.
Yeah.
I can edit a little bit.
Okay.
It's like, because now I'm in the journey and I'm out here participating. I want to do everything.
Right.
I want to be behind the camera.
you
I want to be
can.
in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Like, the tools and resources that we have now allow
So
you
dope.
so many opportunities to do it for free. YouTube is free.
YouTube,
Is free. So now anybody can have their own show. They could be the star of their own show.
You can.
And nobody can. If you have a phone, your phone can set you free.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to stay on the journey and stay on the boat.
do the work.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
sure.
Just keep going.
Yeah, for sure. What you got going on?
I've been on television shows for this year. Was like the year of TV. I started out doing a couple of features, but now I've been on television shows, I would say at least since April. Okay. So we probably started pre-production on that maybe in May. And it's been like the year of TV.
I know you can't say what it is,
Yeah.
but the work is there.
Oh, yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
And that's when I say, stick with the process, because it will open up.
It will.
Like, at first, with anything, when you're building, it might feel like, it takes time. Yeah. Like, you might feel like you're putting so much more in than what you're getting out.
Yes.
But if you stick with it, it will start to open up, and you'll start to feel the impact of your good works.
Definitely. Definitely. Man, I'm glad you came on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You are a special guest. You are a special guest for me, because I know how important it is to be a script supervisor, and that how important that position is on set. I appreciate you for gracing my set. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Because a lot of times script supervisors are overlooked. There's no script supervisor awards or anything.
Right, yeah.
But we are very important. Very important. I say the most important to the production, but that's just me tooting your horn. I'm not going to toot mine, but I'll toot yours.
Toot yours. What?
Okay, I'm tooting mine.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
there you go, because it deserves
we know.
it.
Yeah, but we know, and now everybody else knows how important it is to be a script supervisor, and how important it is to the set.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What is your social media? Tell the people what your social media is.
I can be reached at Safiyya Hicks on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Spell your name, because it's different.
It's S as in Sam, A, F as in friend, I, Y, Y, A.
Yep.
That is 2 Y's. That is correct. You're not seeing that wrong. Hicks.
Yes. I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
And we'll have you back.
I appreciate that.
We'll
I want to
definitely
come
have
back.
you
I want to let everybody know, script supervising, stick with the process. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make errors. But I promise you, you will grow. But you have to hang in there with it. You have to hang in there with it in order to receive the fruits of the labor, okay?
And they will come.
Right. They will come. That water, it might get choppy, but that's all right. You stay in the boat, and that's
I appreciate that.
stay in the boat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those words.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate
Thank you.
it. As always, here on Filmmakers Lab, I hope we were able to educate you further on this script supervising journey, and also the importance of that aspect on film. So yeah, man, check us on Wednesdays at 7:00 on YouTube, on Ebon Vision channel. The content that's created for and by kings and queens. And that is a wrap.